Hi, hello. This is another episode of Sage's Antique Ukulele Swing Radio Hour. Yes, the podcast is back. I know you belong to somebody new, but tonight you belong to me. Although we're apart, you're a part of my heart, and tonight you belong to me. Way down by the stream, how sweet it would seem once more, just a dream in the moonlight. Although with the dawn I know you'll be gone, but tonight you belong to me, just a little old me. That's it. That is my quote-unquote arrangement for Tonight You Belong to Me, an amalgamation of many versions. And that's the episode of the focus of today's episode is a little deep dive that I had been doing on Tonight You Belong to Me. First, I want to mention that you can learn the arrangement, my arrangement of this tune, inside of the Swing Ukulele Academy. And I have a link for that in the description below. Join us for a recorded version of the workshop. I have a tablature, I have the chord shapes, I have an hour and a half long workshop teaching every piece and part of that arrangement. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Ukulele Swing School, the Swing Ukulele Academy, ongoing classes. It is a good time. So I had this is a song that I first learned a number of years ago, and it caused me many headaches as I tried to learn it. And I was looking through various versions that have been recorded over the years, and I wanted to get a sense of the way that people's approach to arranging the tune has evolved over time. And I have drawn some conclusions from my scientific observations. And I wanted to share them with you. So this is perhaps the most didactic and teachy that I have ever gotten inside an episode of the Antique Ukulele Swing Radio Hour. And I have my notes here, and I wanted to begin by talking about how the tune was written in 1926 by Billy Rose and Lee David. I don't know anything about them in particular, but what I wanted to draw your attention to is just that the tune was originally written as a waltz. And that is not the way that I just played it, but there are plenty of recordings from 1926, 1927, and the intervening years where people do it as a waltz. And I had considered sharing pieces of the actual recordings in this podcast episode. I'm not sure if they'll take it off of YouTube if I do that. So instead, what I'll do is just link to all of these versions in the description of the podcast episode, and you can listen to them yourself. So one version that I wanted to draw your attention to is Gene Austin's version, which was recorded in 1927, and he has this beautiful angelic tenor voice and does the arrangement with an orchestra. I didn't take notes on this. I hope what I'm saying is correct. And he does it as a soft and gentle, sweet waltz. It's such an interesting song lyrically because Gene Austen also does the verse, which is very interesting. It's about either, depending on which way you look at it, it's about cheating, or it could be about cheating. It could be about cheating. I feel like it's a song that could be about cheating from the perspective of the other person, from the person who's outside of the, I mean, yeah. Yeah, that's what it's about, right? It's a song of it, but it's also, since it's from the perspective of the other person, the person who's outside of the committed partnership, like, ostensibly wants that for themselves, right? I guess I'm just trying to make a distinction between the softness and the tenderness of the lyrical content, of the arrangement, contrasted with the lyrical content, which is like a little edgy. No? It's a little edgy. Right? Am I wrong here? I don't think so. Okay, so there's this kind of edgy topic of wanting to own a person. Wanting to be in a committed partnership with them, but realizing that no, they're in a committed partnership with somebody else. But tonight, all bets are off. Okay. The next tune I wanted to mention, or the next recording that I wanted to draw attention to, was done in 1939 by the Tennessee Ramblers, a Western swing outfit. And they do the tune in 4/4 time. I love this. I'm pretty sure it's a quartet string band kind of situation with a Western swing fiddler component. I love this version. Now, the next item on my agenda, the year 1956. It's possible that this shows up in years previous to 1956 because I have not listened to every possible recording of this tune. But I have listened to many of them. And so in 1956, many recordings show up that have this ba-da-da-da-da-da bum ba-da-da-da-da-da bum that shows up in the ukulele version that I did for you today. And while I have not pinned it down to one patient zero of this little rhythmic figure, it does show up in many, many versions that were recorded in that year. One of the versions, one artist group was Patience and Prudence. So I alluded to earlier the sort of tension in the Gene Austen version between the lyrical content and the sweetness and the tenderness of the arrangement, of the delivery of the lyrics. And here, it's the 1950s, and it gets, I think to 20, 25 years, even like 2010 years, it gets a little creepy because they're children, right? Patience and Prudence are children. And they have this, I mean, just listen to the lyrics. They're singing about what is essentially a one-night stand. It's creepy. It's creepy. No, it's creepy. So, but going back to the musical arrangement part. So this is where the triplet figure shows up. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then with the two angelic young child girl voices, we have this vocal harmony line that shows up. So we have I know. I don't know why I'm singing this so low, but we have the vocal harmony line that shows up, that like swooping. I know you belong to some. And so this line shows up in the Patience and Prudence version. It shows up in the Lennon Sisters version. It shows up in many, many different versions. If you find a recording from 1956 or 1957, or for that matter, at any point after that, it will likely include these two main arrangement pieces. And so it's just really interesting how these trends begin, no? Someone, maybe one person, decided, let's do this here. Let's do this little triplet figure, this little hook in the orchestral arrangement. Let's add a vocal harmony line. And then all of a sudden, this is the way, the way that we do this song now. So in 1979, the movie The Jerk, with Bernadette Peters and Steve Martin, you have the ukulele jazz virtuoso Lyle Ritz is playing underneath that scene of the two of them singing together. And they, of course, use the same da-da-da-da-da-da. So Lyle Ritz brings that figure into his playing. And Steve Martin singing, Bernadette Peters singing. They do this two-part vocal harmony thing that I guess we all started doing in 1956. And we can't get away from. It's just addictive at this point. So we have Lyle Ritz is playing, which I'll just make a side note. That version is in G flat. And Lyle Ritz plays in this version a tenor ukulele tuned like a baritone ukulele, which is I'm pointing I'm pointing to my instrument in my room here. One of my favorite instruments that I own. I play a ukulele that is tuned in this fashion. It's tuned re-entrant, D, G, B, E. So the D is high, the G is low, and then you have a B and an E. So it's tuned like a baritone ukulele, but with re-entrant tuning. It is a beautiful kind of tonality, and it's a beautiful instrument. So this is the tuning that Lyle Ritz uses in this recording. The song, as Bernadette Peters and Steve Martin sing it, is of course in G flat, and there's this very helpful video that someone posted about a decade ago where he went through the recording and analyzed the notes using some audio software, and basically figured out the exact notes that Lyle Ritz played in this recording, which is great because I have a book. I have a Lyle Ritz book, but that arrangement was simplified to make it easier to play. And so I'll link to this video that I am mentioning below so that you can check it out. I actually want to go through the video and just write a chord chart for it. I'm planning on doing this. I worry about making promises because the way that I tend to do things is to barrel on forward when I have a lot of energy, and if I sort of miss the boat on the energy for it, then sometimes even if I really want to do things, they get away from me, and then I don't end up doing them. But I do want to do this because I would like to be able to play Lyle Ritz's arrangement of this on one of my favorite instruments in the whole world, this Lyle and Hereeeee by Washburn tenor ukulele, tuned like a baritone ukulele with a re-entrant D, because it's such a beautiful thing. Okay, so at some point, I'm not sure exactly when, 8 years ago? I don't know. I don't know where it was in the timeline. I came across this Zooey Deschanel and Ben Schwartz cover of Tonight You Belong to Me, which they recorded on a webcam or something in 2011, and it went viral. Who knows if I caught it at the moment that it went viral? Probably not. I'm usually slow to trends. Hence why I'm talking about why I'm so into playing jazz tunes on the ukulele that are 100 or more years old. But in any case, Zooey Deschanel plays this tune on the ukulele and uses fairly easy shapes. Now, at the time when I was trying to figure it out, I did not realize that she was playing a D-tuned ukulele. So what is largely popular nowadays is a C-tuned uke, so G, C, E, A. If you strum those open strings of a ukulele, you get a C6 chord. So, but then in this version, it's kind of embarrassing to admit how much time I spent trying to transcribe from the video what she was doing without realizing that she was playing a D-tuned uke, which is the open strings give you a D6 chord. So all of that is to say, I spent a lot of time listening to the Lyle Ritz version and trying to get the elements of his playing in my arrangement without being in the key of G flat, because I didn't want to, because I wanted it to be easier. I wanted it to be more playable. And knowing that the Zooey Deschanel version was playable with that G shape, which when she plays it sounds like an A, but if you play it on a C ukulele, it becomes a G chord. Honestly, I got lost with that sentence. I'm not sure how the sentence ends. Basically, I just wanted to come up with a playable arrangement that used the hooks and the turnarounds or versions of the turnarounds that Lyle Ritz used in his G flat arrangement. And yeah, that's what I did. That's what I did. I came up with this arrangement. I posted it on my YouTube channel in that year that we all went insane in our apartments. Am I revealing too much? I'm just revealing that I went insane in my apartment in 2020. And yeah, so I shared that arrangement at that point, and then I've gotten back into this arrangement again, tabbed the entire thing out, Wrote a bunch of really great charts that I'm like so proud of. Spent a lot of time on it, making them really clear and really readable and really learnable and really playable, and then put everything together for my students and taught this song this past weekend. Oh, I'm so proud. So proud. So it's a Lyle Ritz inspired version, which of course is based on the arrangements of this tune, or include arrangement elements of this tune, mainly that triplet ba-da-da-da, that first started appearing in versions as far back as 1956. I'm just wondering, do I have anything to say? Do I have anything else to say? I was just very excited to present all of these findings to you. Because I just find it so fascinating the way that the arrangements have evolved over time, and the way that I'm pausing a little bit because I'm trying to decide exactly how to say it. The way that some things have become, I don't know if ossified is the correct word. Some of these choices, some of these arrangement choices have become kind of set in stone, sort of fossilized. Like, this is the way the song goes. This song has a little ba ba da 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 dum bum ba da ba da 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 dum bum at the beginning, and that's just the way that we've been doing it for 70 years now. Crazy. And then also those vocal harmonies. I just wanted to present to you all these all these videos and look at the whole timeline of the song as a whole and revisit the evolution. Because I was like a few years ago when I was like really trying to learn this, when I was in the process of arranging it in a way that made sense to me, that was playable for me, I was really focused in on the Lyle Ritz version. And then I also love now connecting it back to decades earlier and seeing how all of these pieces are connected. Okay. All right. Well, I think that is basically it for today, folks. If you'd like to join us in the Ukulele Swing School, in the Swing Ukulele Academy, there is a 90-minute workshop and all the charts that you'll need to learn this arrangement of Tonight You Belong to Me. And if I end up making a chart of this person's transcription of the Lyle Ritz arrangement, I'll share that as well. I'll share that here so that everyone can play those fancy shapes on a tenor ukulele tuned a re-entrant G, is it D, G, B, E. It's going to be great. It's going to be so fun and also challenging because some of those shapes are really hard to play. Yes, so come join us in the Swing Ukulele Academy. If you are a songwriter and you want to write your ukulele album in 2026, please join me for a year-long songwriting mentorship program. You can get yourself on the wait list. I will include the link below so that you can be the first to know when the doors open for that program. I would love to work with you. It would be fabulous. Shoot me an email if you have questions and you want to talk about it. I am happy to book a discovery call with you. Email me sage@ukuleleswingschool.com. I love supporting songwriters. I love helping them find different ways to arrange their tunes. I love helping people sort through their ideas and find different techniques that they can use to expand their songwriting and then also polish up the way that they play their tunes. Okay. All right. Until next time, I'll see you. Sage's Antique Ukulele Swing Radio Half Hour. We'll talk soon. Bye.